Hey, and we are live.
Let's go.
Look, man, and I got some friends here. I got Speak Easy. As
Yes,
always, any
sir.
platform I'm on with him, you guys are going to know that this guy, he helped put me on, man, for real, for real. So it's always
Appreciate that.
appreciated, man. It is always appreciated. And this
So
guy,
man was like, ha.
look, no, I gotta give him his flowers, man. This is what this is about. Like, I don't
Kool-Aid's gonna
have
be
Yes,
this
sir.
successful no matter
opportunity
what.
here.
Yeah.
What'd
That's
you
why I
say?
feel weird. So you're gonna be successful no matter what.
Listen, man. I've had a couple runs.
I was
at
I
this.
was blessed to run into you.
We all were,
appreciate you
man.
guys, man.
Facts.
We all were. Like, like I was doing what I was doing on my own. And then when I got brought in here at the network, Easy was part of that. And once I did that,
Easy
bro.
is our Moses.
No, yeah, he is. He gonna lead us. But I just like I was like, oh, it's so much better. It's so much easier to motivate yourself and to do this when you're around like people versus doing it all yourself. Like when you're just sitting by yourself, it's easy to just not do it.
Yes.
But when you're with people like you that are driven and working and doing the Pistons, and you that with the heavyweights in the show, like it's easy. It's easy to work.
It's easy,
'cause
baby.
Everybody's working, so it's easy, man. I'm excited, man. Game 1 of 82 is in the book. We got 81 more of these.
Yeah.
81 more of these, and I'm like excited for all of them.
Hey, look at man, Easy already getting some shout outs, man. Shout out to PD Mac. He said Easy. He said,
What
what
up,
up,
PD
though,
Mac?
fam? He said, Kool-Aid, what up, my guy? Ace, what up, though, man? It's good to see the people starting to get in here into the
Yes, sir.
chats, man. Look, I want to start. I told you guys we're going to start bringing you more content to this channel, and I wanted to be able to feature a lot more of our guys. And look, in the future, this will be Pistons. You know, we're a heavy Lions network, but they're actually starting to like what the Pistons have to offer, man. Hey, it looked like the camera just turned itself, man. That's pretty wild. These new
Whoa.
cameras are crazy. I don't know
Yeah.
why it just
You
took
see
Easy
that? It
out
just
the picture,
rotated.
man. Can we like?
Yeah.
Is there a way to?
Let me work it. Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, but look, I wanted to be able to bring more content to you all so that we can actually get on here and talk about and give you more instant reactions. I'm not a big overreaction, underreaction guy, but I am somebody who likes to be able to get in and just recap from the week before. I guess just turn the we can just turn the camera. And look, man, that game. Hey, shout out to John. What up, though, bro? I'm glad that you guys are here. There's 15 people. Definitely, if you can, hit the like button, share the stream. Let's get it going, man. And also in the chats, you guys let me know what you think and what you thought of Cade Cunningham's performance. 30 points. He took 27 field goals attempts. He hit 13 shots, man. So he was at what 48% for the game, 44% from three, and that includes that kind of last minute, that last second three-pointer as well. This thing is so crazy.
It's like addicted to who's talking.
Hello. I don't know if it's gonna snap. Is audio levels on for me?
Yeah, it is.
Hello.
Watch, I'll turn it, and then boom, you see it move again.
It
No.
does. It moves slightly.
I think they're like motion ones, but like, what if you don't want? Yeah.
There we go.
All right, there we go. There go Easy. Look, man, because he's one of the stars of this network, straight up, man. He's one of the stars. Hey, Sebastian said he is him. What up, MTJ? We just letting a few more people get into the stream. We're gonna shut down today, like around 8. And I need you guys to support the show that comes before this, and that's the Woodward Heavyweights. And I need you guys to support the show that comes after this, and that is the Woodward Nights.
Sir.
And really support all the shows on the network, man. Wake up in the morning and tap in with Morning Woodward Show. Hey, man, people are already in the comments talking about K. Hey, MTJ, one half of the heavyweights is in the building. I love that you're getting that love, Easy. I love that, man.
That is pretty cool.
I do. But look, I want to ask you guys, starting with Easy.
Yes, sir.
What did you all think about Cade Cunningham against the Miami Heat?
Man, it's just been a long time coming. There's been some wild accusations on Cade as the #1 overall pick after the injury, which is just blows my mind because you saw what he did his rookie year. He was dealing with a shin injury that he had since high school, still became a #1 overall pick with that shin injury. And if he corrected the injury or did anything that ate him along with it, people were still talking down. It was crazy. I love to see that out of him. I already knew he had that dog in him since he's going back and forth with KD. That's a moment where I just knew Cade was him. And then you got to see it displayed again last night, in the moments, the crucial moments. It was him taking and making a lot of those shots. And that's the part I love to see because as a big LeBron guy, like, I think we were talking about a little bit last night. I was telling you guys, like, one thing that infuriates me is like sometimes there's been like moments LeBron's like he defers, and it hurts so much because like he just he's great.
You want it in
His
his
greatness.
hands,
Yeah. I want
For
to
sure.
see you do great things, you know. And Cade, no. Even though
No.
he's that type of player like LeBron, he can spread the ball and play like winning basketball. He still knows he's him. And those moments are up to him to decide the game.
Even though the last shot wasn't good, I like that he took it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you had Burks open in the corner. Like, you know, you can go to the X's and O's, and yeah, you always want to make the right plays. But at the end of the day, Cade Cunningham brought the team back into it. And you brought up the Kevin Durant game. What last night's game gave me was the Utah Jazz flashbacks of when that second half, when he just took over.
Yeah.
When he just took over, didn't even have Dwayne Casey. It was a substitute coach, substitute teacher. And Cade just went and ran the second half and carried them back. So, you know, Cade, I've been saying this. I think Cade is so good that he can will a team to a top 15 offense, even if the talent around it isn't great. And that's what he showed us last night, is that he can carry on nights against a reigning Eastern Conference champion. He can take them to, you know, he can go toe to toe himself in the second half. And he did that. So he was excellent. And man, I said this right before we went on air, but it's just like being a longtime Piston fan. It's so cool to have a star like this. Like it's just so fun to root. Like you can't express how great it is and how fun it is to have a guy where you can watch him and you can go, my guy can go toe to toe, because even the 04 team that I was raised up on, you know, that was a team that was a collection. That was a unit. That was a unit that won. There wasn't a star. It was one night it was Rip, one night it was Chauncey, but Cade is like, no, that's our guy. He is him. And, you know, it's just good, man, because we saw the rankings. We saw ESPN putting them top 80. We saw everywhere putting them, you know, and I get he didn't play, but how can you look at him and say Herb Jones is more talented? And I like Herb Jones as a role player, but he's a good role player. Cade is a absolute superstar.
Austin Reeves, bro, over Cade Cunningham. That's
like,
wild.
Yeah, like Austin Reeves is a very good player. He played well in the playoffs, but he is not the number one on a team. And if he is the number one on a team, th're damn sure not going toe to toe with the Eastern Conference champions last night, like Cade Cunningham did. So
absolutely,
it was just dope to see, man. It's fun, and that's what I'm saying, man. No matter how many teams this game wins this year, it's going to be fun to watch, because you're going to have those Cade moments, you're going to have those Ivy moments, which I'm sure we'll get to. But we're gonna have those Ivy moments. You're gonna have Asar. How fun was he to watch? Like this team is, even if they're losing games, they're going to be fun to watch, because it's a journey. It's a journey to the championship. It's not a 1 year journey. It's not a 1 season journey. It's a 6-7 year journey. Look at that Denver Nuggets team, how long they were together before they got it done. This is a journey, and just, you know, enjoy it. Enjoy the moments.
The 3-ball too, I like.
Yeah, definitely, man. And we talked about this stuff, man. We talked about this, especially before the game. So people can't say that our reaction right now is over or under. It's actually on point. We talked about, you keep this game within 10 going into the last 5 minutes, and who's going to start to take over? Cade Cunningham. And that's exactly what he did. I told you guys, and I don't care about that missed shot. I liked his face at the end of it. His face was like, dang, I missed a shot that I know I usually make. Because we saw him hit that same shot over Bam. We were all calling it. He had Bam in the ISO and passed it, and the instant was like, no, give me the ball right back. We called it. He's about to hit this three. From what, 3, 4 feet back, maybe from behind the line. So I'm not upset with that.
He probably would have hit it if Jimmy wasn't there with the help.
Man, it's just so nice to see two back, man.
He's
back
a good
in blue, man. It's special.
Yeah, and look, man, on this platform, you all know, the people out there know, we've been doing this K zone since we drafted him. This guy's a star. I'm gonna continue to say he is a star. I've had the trolls. We've heard the kind of, you know, the haters and all of that say, nah, let him prove something. He already proved it. Y'all just don't want to give him the credit like the rest of the league is trying to down him. That's not how that's gonna go. But I know that the people in our live chats right now, they've largely been people who have known Cade Cunningham is him, and that's why I'm glad to see exactly what we see in the comments here. The thing that I love the best is that the things that I know he was working on, his strength, getting his weight up, you know, making sure that his legs were going to be okay. People flipped out when he had that kind of leg sleeve on to miss the game, to just kind of rest up so he can be there at the family day practice and at the beginning of the season. His shot, man, the arch on his shot. I continue to tell people that, being at the practices, the training camps and such, that there were clips where I was like, okay, when is he going to miss? And he wasn't. And it wasn't like he was just shooting. They would take 2 shots, rotate, just to see that muscle memory. Are you still knocking down that shot? And what we saw to Cade is, before that last shot, where he was 4-9, from 3-pointers for the game. He was 4 of 8, 50%, still 44%. It looked natural. And what did we talk about? His off ball. We talked about this on Heavyweights before the game as well as a part of our pregame. Hey, shout out to Matthew Broder, our Detroit Lions.
Shout out.
Hey.
Shout out, man.
Hey, look, Woodward Nights is about to get going at 8, so I need you guys to make sure you tap in and you check him out. I wish you guys could see his dance moves off screen right now.
I don't know if the people want to see that.
Yeah, no.
We'll get,
they start dropping like flies.
Yeah, you might get kicked off YouTube for those dance moves.
Demonetize all that.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah. But it was good to see Cade kind of honestly be the player that I've seen him be in practice.
The number 1 overall pick, man.
Yeah. And not just the number 1 overall pick, because we see top picks out there. I don't know what Jalen Green is doing to start the season, but I know that Houston cannot depend on Jalen Green the way we know we could depend on CADE Cunningham. And people were in the comments talking about, I saw some people responding to some of our posts on Woodward Sports saying things like, he took 27 shots to get 30 points. It's like, look, if these referees, first of all, he shot dag near 50% from the field.
Bro, his
true shooting was like
44%. Yeah.
It was 48 from the field, 44 from 3. His true shooting is
there's nothing wrong with shooting 48% on 27. Yeah, like relax.
No free throws. Don't get me started on
30
that.
points with no free throws is amazing.
I'm about to ask you. Bring up the stat, bro. Bring up the stat.
So I did, and I'm gonna pull it up so I can get it 110% right, because I looked it up, and you were the one that brought it to my attention when you were first looking at the box score. That CADE Cunningham, again, no free throw attempts in a game where he shot 27 shots. So I looked it up, and I did StatMuse for this. Just shout out StatMuse. I did most points without a free throw in a game. So this is either they didn't make one or they didn't attempt one. And then I organized it by field goal attempts, and there are some familiar faces on here for Piston fans. Now, CADE would have been 15th all time with 27 shots and no free throw attempts. And you know who else he would have been tied with? Exactly the same, Joe Dumars, who also had 27 shots in a game with no made free throws. He did attempt 2 that game, I believe. I looked it up. I believe they were technicals. But Mark Aguirre was also on this list. So this shows me that, it's not out of the realm. It's not Detroit crying when they say CADE doesn't get calls, because he doesn't. However, the thing I want to say about it is that this is early in the journey, and that I believe that this will change. Like, I believe you're going to look back at these kind of games and these kind of box scores, and you're going to remember when he didn't, because I feel like although a lot of his shots weren't necessarily initiating contact, there was definitely plays where he could have gotten calls. And I think that's going to be something you're going to see CADE change as this season progresses. I think as he continues to ball out at this level, he's going to force the ref's hands, and he's going to initiate more contact. And when he initiates more contact, there's going to be a growing pain where there's going to be some tough shots where he doesn't get the call, but he's eventually going to start getting calls. It's all a building block. James Harden didn't start his rookie year with 11 free throw attempts a game. That was earned. SGA, who's one of the best scorers in the NBA, he averaged 11 free throw attempts a game last year, and that was earned. That was a jump, I believe, a five free throw jump. So this is all part of the process. So while you could say it cost Detroit this game, yes, it's something that historically almost every star has to go to. And by the way, the top person on that list was Hakeem Olajuwon. And I don't know how you shoot 40 shots in the paint and don't get a single free throw, but he didn't even get a single attempt.
That's wild insane to me, man. You got Killian Hayes out there getting 3, and what I was gonna say is, there is one player who actually gets a lot of free throw attempts and has. Hey, Trae Young, can you throw like 1 or 2 free throw attempts a game to CADE Cunningham, please? Seriously. Please. You talking about a guy who went 4-19, but got 15 attempts at the free throw line, and they still lost, man.
It's even like, and I love D-Book and Future Piston, but like when he hit that, he hit that those 70 points, there was so many free throws in that 70-point like game he had.
I think it was 22 free throws.
Yeah, it's insane.
But you know who helped get him some more free throw attempts per game? And we talked about that. Monty Williams. That offense and that system and whatever. He's a
guard whisperer.
Yeah, like I believe that as long as CADE keeps doing what he's doing, he got stronger so that he said that there were some games where he suffered his rookie year where he realized I'm just not strong enough. And if they're not going to call the calls, he said, I'm not going to just sit around and complain about it.
Yeah.
That's going to make the refs annoyed with him. And they're going to say, you know what? We're going to make it worse. He said, I'm just getting in the lab and I'm going to come back and I'm going to drop 30 on your head.
That's the mindset you want. And your number one overall player too, man. That's such a beautiful, secret. I mean, literally though, so too, that's what Jordan did as well, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jordan
when Jordan was getting beat up, well documented. He had to get his weight up to get past Detroit Pistons.
Oh, 110%.
To see Cade with that same mentality rather than like crying about it, especially today's modern day, like that's all they really do is cry to the referees.
Yeah.
Did exactly what Kool-Aid said. No, I'm gonna get in the weight room and I'm gonna earn them.
And again, I do want to stress, I do think there will be a little bit of a learning curve with that, because I do think that Cade is going to force the refs' hands, and it's going to take some time for the refs to start to give him those calls.
Oh, yeah,
that's
what there's,
of the doubt. So I will say, like, I think Cade right now, he's settling for a lot of those mid-range, and I want to say settle because he's actually really good at shooting the mid-range and shooting and for 3-point. All the people that said he couldn't shoot threes, he shot 44% last night. So we can stop talking about that. But
in the face of good defenders too. That's a good defensive team, the Miami Heat.
Yeah, but he's going to start getting to the paint more. He's going to start getting more aggressive, and when he does, he's going to start getting those calls. I think it is going to be as much as it is the refs calling it. I do think it will be also a shift in a development in Cade's mindset and how he attacks defenses. But it's awesome.
I'm gonna read some of these comments, man. Shout out to Mr. Jones. He's one of our regulars. I see a lot of our regulars in the chat, man. It's good. We're gonna try and be a lot more consistent with the new shows at Woodward Sports. We had to try and shift some things around, go back to the table and try and game plan. And I think we got something solid that's gonna make sure we can continue to get up and do this. But Mr. Jones, he said Jared Jack is the key. MTJ said
that's a great point.
That's a great point.
Yeah. MTJ said when Cade said I haven't went to the line once to the ref, I was so hyped. Dude had the basketballs to get at the refs calmly. And he did, and it wasn't him necessarily crying. It's listen.
I like the way he worded that.
Staying it out,
the basketball.
It's like
that was fire.
Hey, Mr. John, he said, good to hear, brother. Look, he's one of the regulars. I'm talking about one of the guys who I feel like this gentleman goes and probably looks at our content even when it's off, like at the old stuff too. He's been somebody who's consistently encouraged, hits me with the DMs and everything just to tell me to keep it going. And it's stuff like that. Honestly, PD Mac the same way, and others too, man.
That's the coolest stuff in the world.
Honestly, to me too.
It's the coolest stuff in the world when people take that extra step to comment and to reach out to you personally and try to either pick your brain on a sports question or just tell you the simple words of like keep going. That's the coolest stuff to me. Like that's the stuff that trips me out about it and like is always a motivating factor. Like you can't, when you have people like telling you, like, hey, I appreciate what you do. It's like, how can you not keep going, man? So shout out to everybody that stays down with the chat. It's awesome, man. And that was a good point too about Jared Jack and like,
excellent point.
How many young guards? This team is built around a lot of young guards because, again, Killian might be, he's figuring his way out in the rotation. He started last night. So we'll see if that continues. But you got Killian, you got Cade, you got Marcus Sasser, you got Ivy. Those are 4 young guards. So to have Monty, to have Jarrett Jack, that is going to be essential for them. Like Monte Morris, too, as well as a veteran that's actually going to play in games for them. But to have that many veteran voices in these young guards' ears is going to be a tremendous help for this team.
Do you know what's crazy is that generally you'll see some trainers, some new guys, some interns, some video film assistants. When I'm at training camp and when I'm at practice, you know what I see? I see like NBA like legacy guys, Steven Silas, Jarrett Jack, Nate McMillan's son. I'm saying these are the people. He's going to be coaching the Motor City Cruise this year as well. Jamil, I believe is his name. I'm going to get that right just so people know for certain. Like these are the guys working with our position groups, working with the bigs, working with the guards, and Monty Williams is going to station to station to station, making sure these guys are good. I usually see Steven Silas working with the bigs. You saw Isaiah Stewart hit 2 of 3 from the 3-point line yesterday. These guys work on this after practice. During practice, Monty Williams has them going through the sets and the things that we saw last night. Things that a lot of people, I don't think people thought the offense was going to look as smooth as it did. Look, turnovers aside, that offense found its rhythm, that's what helped them continue to fight back and claw back. And obviously, when you got the straw that stirs the drink in CADE Cunningham, that's the finishing pieces. But then when I see Jared Jack working with those guards, he is. That's why I love our chat. They're keyed in. They understand. They know. Jared Jack, primarily, I see him working with those guards, and he'll go out there too and shoot and make them feel a little, hey, if you're not hitting, Jared Jack still got that trigger, man. He got the Ruger on him still. It's an awesome thing to see because I liked Dwayne Casey. I thought that he was better developed for his coaching style, and his staff was better developed for a ready-made veteran team. And he's still like that 2 big system. Monty Williams, he's been known, whether it be New Orleans, whether it be Phoenix, and I'm going to say what he's about to do in Detroit. to take a young squad and to be able to take them to the next level. And it's not just the guard whispers. The thing that he did with Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and those, and Devin Booker and Kelly Oubre, to be able to take their games to even higher levels, to be able to wake a campaign up off the scrap heaps. Those things are what I like. And it's not just him. It's because Monty Williams is not afraid to honestly share the stage with basketball minds.
Yes.
I love it.
And I think another name to add to that, to Monty, who I think he's particularly really keyed on, and there's a certain reason, is Jalen Duren. Because from what you hear in Phoenix, that the one person he didn't connect with was DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton, had his issues with the organization, with Monty. That was kind of well documented. So I think that when he got here, one of the first things he said was, I think Jalen Duren can be a top 10 player in the NBA, not center, player. Like, he talked very, very highly of Jalen Duren. And I think that that's going to be one person, because when you look at, you pointed out excellently, all the development he did beyond the guards, the wings he developed. But that was the one thing. And that was a finals team, remember? So I'm sure he's looking at it like, man, if I just got through to Ayton, man, we would have won a championship. And I think that he's seeing that with Duren. He's taking, again, it's building blocks, it's steps. Just as much as these players are going to get better, these coaches are going to get better. And I think he's looking at that as a huge leap. And if I get Jalen Duren right, we can really, really go to the next level. So I'm curious to watch that relationship.
Yep. And do you know where it starts? Look, Sebastian, shout out to Sebastian. I don't know if his statement is true or not, but what I do know is true is this. I don't know how serious-minded of a basketball player DeAndre Ayton was.
I put that on Ayton. I'm clear with that.
Because when Troy Weaver steps to the podium with his draft picks and he says things like, I wanted to pick serious basketball players. Shout out to Booner. Shout out Booner. Hey, I need y'all to tap in. Woodward Nights is on its way in a few minutes, actually. And we're going to move into probably just previewing this weekend soon, too.
Yeah.
But Troy Weaver talked about his basketball room being serious, that these guys care about basketball. Asar Thompson was even asked, like, what do you do off the court? And he looked befuddled, bro. He was like, I leave the practice gym and I chill for a little bit, and then I come back to the gym.
Yeah.
It was just like, gosh, this dude really is a hooper. And we got sources, direct connections, who said Asar Thompson, he's the one that works. He's the one that wants to do everything. He works at his craft and his game. He didn't just rely on, I'm athletic. He didn't just rely on, I got taller. He didn't rely on any of that. He said, I want to continue to get better. What did he say? When the shot's not falling, the one thing I can do, and he said this during Summer League, Vegas Summer League, the things I can do is play defense, hustle, get in transition, go for blocks, go for steals. 5 blocks.
He definitely got them.
5 blocks.
Got them last night.
7 rebounds.
Yeah.
That shot will fall. A little bit of jerk.
Even if it doesn't, who cares? Like, honestly, when you're impacting the game that well defensively, like, you can afford to, and that's what Lindsey Hunter said in our show Heavyweights today.
Yeah.
Is he said when you're playing that great defensively, you can afford to shoot bad shots on offense. I, as a coach, and he was a former coach, he's like, I as a coach wouldn't care. And you had a great point last night too on the stream, or not on the stream, but when we were watching the game, is, you kept saying, man, that guy, when he just learns the nuances, the little things, like, man, it's gonna click. And when you said that, and I was watching that the rest of the game, you're right, because he had those plays where he got the time to help defense block, but then he had those plays where he was a step late, or just figuring out, or cutting as somebody else was cutting. But when he works out those tweaks, man, he is gonna be awesome. Like, he impressed the hell out of me last night. I know Duren played well, Stewart played well, Bagley played well. Shout out to you for that. You've been pushing the Bagley. He's been pushing the Bagley hype on me. But man, like, Asar, he really stood out. Who really kind of stood out to you of that group of people that we named?
Like off the bench?
Like, just in general.
I mean, obviously Asar really stood out, but Marcus Sasser, I said this on a couple of the shows, and it feels weird to say this, but I'm going to say it. He has elite NBA handle. His handle gets him wide open. His step back, his ability to kind of get to his spots wherever he wants to. I wasn't expecting that, man.
Yeah.
That was wild. I knew he had a little handle. I knew he was a combo guard. I knew he liked to look for a shot a little bit. But, dog, like, even the one where he got fouled, or when they called the moving screen and he hit it, He looked pissed, but he came right back down and was like,
and shot it and made it. Yeah.
come here, blah, 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 boom. Like his handles are crazy.
Yeah.
I know people are saying, oh, start him over Killian or play him more with the group. He's more of a combo guard. His
Yeah,
playmaking,
I
I think
agree.
that's
Yeah.
going to be something that continues to develop, and his defense is something that's going to be continuing to develop. But
Oh man,
I
agree.
was impressed with the rookies overall. Hey, shout out to JD. He's a kind
Shout
of a everything guy, man. Shout out
Swiss
to
Army
we gotta
knife,
give
like
you the
Asar
love.
Thompson,
He's
like
the GOAT.
Asar Thompson, the Swiss Army knife.
he's
Yeah,
the
man.
mayor.
The
He
mayor.
puts it all together.
The mayor.
Yeah.
We have to,
Oh,
man.
man.
We have to. We got to
Yeah.
talk the Pistons.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, I'm gonna look out for you, Jesse. I got you for real. Hey, shout out Nick.
See you,
Thank
Jesse.
you,
Go
brother. Thank you. Jesse was one of those guys, man. He was honored. Goodness, I wish I knew the publication.
Forbes.
Forbes.
Forbes 30 under 30.
30
under
under
30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was
Yeah.
30 under 30, but I didn't know if it was Forbes.
Birmingham,
Yeah.
Rose, Rose, Woodward Sports,
Mhm.
Lady James, real estate, all of that. He's kind of a mastermind, and
Doing
he's
it
just
all.
30, 31 years old, and he
Good dude,
supports
too.
us all. Really good dude. So we like to make sure people get their flowers. But what I want to ask you guys, while we got a few minutes left here, is what are you looking forward to out of this Charlotte Hornets game, as well as the Chicago Bulls home opener? It would be the NBA to give the Pistons their home opener on the
back-to-back.
second
A
game of a
back-to-back.
back-to-back
Come
after
on,
having
man.
the most back-to-backs last year. Come on, NBA. But I think this Pistons team has the recipe.
Yeah,
to
they got some
overcome
young legs. They got some young
The
legs.
defense. I want to see if that defense consistently carries over into this Hornets game. Because as you know, the Hornets like to play offensive ball. And I don't know, Mel's gonna be looking for his if they're only scoring 15 in his debut.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit of the defense. I'm not gonna say K because I just expect K to be there and,
Right.
and be what he was.
Right.
You know what? And this is not like I don't want to be taken the wrong way because I know my history with the name, but I want to see Jaden Ivey. I want to see him make a campaign for 6th man of the year, or
Speak
maybe
on
even
it, bro.
break into the
Talk on it.
into the starting lineup at some point. Because I think that's what I envision those two as. You know what I'm saying, like just not even like a yin and yang thing. Like Ivey's just he can be so good individually. I just didn't know if it was a fit with Cade. But now with him coming off the bench, it allows them to do that. Cade go relax for a little bit. Now Ivey take over. And I just need Ivey to fulfill that because I know he can. I know he's capable. He just needs to slow down, calm his nerves a little bit, and play that team ball, that Monty brand ball.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Ivy is definitely somebody that you're gonna have to watch out for. One matchup I'm looking out for, or I should say, in both of those games, is I'm looking at Jalen Duren because he's got two centers he's going up against. One in
The same
Nikola
draft class.
Vucevic, who was a veteran center. He's the type of guy that when you're
Mhm.
young, like they just cook the young guys. You know, like a veteran knows when to pump fake, when to picks his spots very well. So I'm
Mhm.
looking to see how Jalen Duren plays that, and also he's a stretch big too. So how does Jalen, who's the young anchor, this defense, balance that duality of going out to close out on Vucevic, but also protecting the rim when the guards need help on defense. So I'm looking at that, and then like you said, Mark Williams from Charlotte, who had a hell of an opening night last night,
And
had
PJ
13 and 15. Yeah, PJ Washington was great too. But I want to see that center matchup. That's a young center who's going to get after it, and you know what he's going to do. I watched him consistently against Capella, who's a good center in the NBA, attack the offensive glass, get offensive rebounds. He is going to be someone that Jalen Duren cannot take lightly. And so I'm looking to see big things out of Duren in these two games.
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to seeing out of the Pistons against specifically the Hornets, who run a lot of pick and rolls. LaMelo Ball is very, very shifty. This is the one thing that I think the Pistons can do very, very well, and we saw it. They can switch at every position. We saw Jalen Duren defend Butler effectively.
Yeah.
We saw Asar Thompson defend Bam effectively. If they can switch everything, it's going to take away the spacing that LaMelo Ball can get. I don't care if he wants to go out there and shoot 4-15 and be 4 of 11 from the field, from 3-point range. I don't care. Force him to 18 3-point attempts. I don't care if he hits them all.
Yeah.
If this team sticks to everybody else, they're going to find themselves in a favorable position. And
100%.
I don't trust their defense. I don't know who they have on their squad that's going to be able to stay even in front of guys like CADE Cunningham, Marcus Sasser, even a Killian Hayes. Seriously. I think Asar Thompson as well. He's a guy who I didn't like a few of his offensive possessions because they differed from what he did in preseason. In preseason, he put his body into the defender and he drew the fouls. And that's something that Monty Williams said, I didn't know he necessarily had that at this stage because he's a rookie.
Yeah,
they don't
he's
usually
young,
come in and know how to do that.
Yeah.
But against the Miami Heat, he faded away a couple times. I want to see him kind of go, put his body into the defender, get to the free throw line, get us into the penalty quick, into the bonus quick, get the other team into the penalty so that free throws become a thing, because they did call a couple fouls for CADE when he's just kind of dribbling the ball and the hand checking and all that type of stuff. Those would be free throws if we were in the bonus.
Yeah.
1-and-1s and such. So I want to kind of see him do that. And I believe that those two things would be a key. The way that this team defends as it relates to switching everything and sticking, because we saw a couple plays where they switched, or sometimes the assignment just wasn't met. A couple times, man. So, I guess we're getting down to the end of it here. We got about another 3-4 minutes to be able to wrap.
Turnovers too.
Yeah, turnovers as well.
Those first half turnovers killed us.
Yeah.
And like, if Killian's gonna start, I'm gonna need him to hit those open shots. At least one, bro.
Man, Bojan Bogdanovic, you were missed last night, brother. He was sorely missed, man. And honestly, all the guys that are out, people talk about put spacing around CADE, and it's like, well, 3 3-point shooters are out right now, and Monte Morris, Isaiah Livers,
who could all shoot 40.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
Like, I think Livers could shoot 40% this year. I'm a big believer in Livers. So yeah, that's 4 or 3 40% 3-point shooters. So yeah, this team has actual depth, and it's about mixing and matching and finding the right pieces. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what the Pistons do these next couple games. I think you'll get a real test for this team, because it's for the first 10 games are pretty. It's a pretty tough schedule for Detroit. So you're going to see very quickly what they're made of. And Monty even spoke to that last night, saying, you guys kind of told on yourselves. You know what you're capable of.
This is the floor now.
Yeah, this is the floor now. And CADE even doubled down on that and said, "Nah, we can play even better." He said, "I'm not going to say that's the floor, because we knew we could do that." So he was kind of like, respect the coach, but we can go up in their level
on right now, because CADE is nasty.
Yeah, man.
I remember before he even made the league, he was on the JJ Redick podcast, and CADE was talking about playoffs, and JJ was like, "Whoa, like, relax, like, you're not even like on a team yet, like, we're about to be. You're talking about playoffs." He's like, "Yeah, like, I'll bet you right now." And they made a bet in that very podcast, but that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know winning is on its way to Detroit.
Absolutely.
Ooh, say that one more time.
Winning is on its way to Detroit.
That sounds so good, and I can believe it.
Yeah,
because CADE, hey, y'all see the shirt,
easy, baby.
The CADE Crusader. He's over here protecting Detroit in the Knights. I listen, CADE Cunningham. Shout out to Ashton, the trainer. Shout out to Cannon Cunningham as well. Shout out to that whole family and everything. They've been avid supporters, behind the scenes. They've been avid supporters in the streams. They've actually graced this channel a couple times with their presence. And Ashton hit me up, man, just before the season. And he was like, "Bro, talk your talk on CADE Cunningham." And I'm like, "Bro, you don't have to ask me to do that."
Yeah,
like, I get it.
Yeah.
That's why you rock with us. Yeah.
I was like, trust me. I tell people all the time, there's a delineation. There's CADE, and then there's all the other people that I like on this Piston squad. But CADE Cunningham is a bona fide star.
Yes,
brother.
No,
and I want to continue to see him go out there and have that type of attitude. Like, people are like, "Oh, CADE Cunningham, he made such a bad play on that last." No, because we're gonna need him to take those shots later in the season. There's gonna be different times where maybe we got 10 seconds with the ball in his hands. And look, film study is gonna get him right.
He was so hot. They had two guys right there too.
Yeah, it was
that's how dangerous he is.
It was Jimmy and Bam, right? It was Jimmy and Bam. So it was literally your two best defenders. And Jimmy, the veteran, jumped when CADE pump faked.
Yeah.
He was smart, and he jumped in a way where CADE couldn't lean into him. So it was one of those things where that play, if you run that play 10 times, a few of those times CADE is going to make that shot. It was a pretty clean shot at the end of the day, all things considered.
And he probably,
you would have liked him to go baseline and try to get either a fade baseline or attack the rim with 2.5 seconds. Like, he had enough time to do that, but and maybe even he would have saw Burks in the corner. But that's all stuff that CADE's going to learn. And we know the Michael Jordan quote. I make these shots because I missed them.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is all it's part of the process. Part of the process. Detroit is going to bring winning basketball to this city, and it's going to be a process and a journey. So enjoy it.
I was just about to say this, and my guy, Mr. Jones, I'm telling you guys, man, he be ahead of the. Hey, Mr. Jones, are you like over here in our streams as well, man? He said CADE was double teamed 3/4 of the game. We saw aggressive traps, and they kept talking about it. Like Pat Riley has the secret sauce to shut down CADE. He saw him at team. No, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh yeah, or Spoelstra.
Yeah.
They were saying that. Yeah, they were
Spoelstra.
saying that about Spoelstra.
Spoelstra. And my
he's too smart too. He's such a team player. Even that one time he fed Isaiah in the post. Immediately after, he's gonna keep doing that all season, and those guys develop their offensive games off of that as well.
Did y'all see that clip? I don't know where it was from, but it was, I don't know if he was in high school, college, or whatever, and it was these guys talking about, I think it was high school at one of these little basketball tournaments, and they were talking about whose team would win, and then all the guys were like, wait, which one's his K's team? Okay, was that team? Okay, all of them were like, K's team, K. He's been that guy, and I don't think people realize as this league, as the old guard is starting to fade out and starting to change, we see like Harden and some of these guys. Are they still going to be them? We don't know if they're going to still be them.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, some of these guys are kind of getting long in the tooth.
Yeah.
The new guard is coming up, and CADE has always been at the top of those of his class.
Yeah,
he's always been.
Yes,
and now he's coming in and he's proving he's about to be at the top of the NBA.
Yeah,
yep,
straight up.
We need in the next week or so. We need to dead that whole number one. I mean, we already know that, but like we need to dead that whole number one pick of the draft conversation.
Oh, it's
like,
dead. It's
like,
done. Yeah,
you know, Evan Mobley looks like he's going to be good. Jalen Green 2 for 10 last night. Scotty Barnes looked great defensively, but again, should have never won Rookie of the Year. Like we need to dead that conversation.
Yeah, that's
How many
crazy.
chips on Cade's shoulder, man? Sheesh, we got to shut this down. This is a good stream. This is such a good stream, but I need y'all to tap in with Woodward Knights.
Shout out to the boys.
We're gonna be doing this a lot more. I've been telling Chris for a long time. I like talking Pistons, but I've talked so much Pistons with you.
Yes,
and some of these conversations probably should have been on the stream,
bro. So. Yeah, we're gonna do those. We're gonna find a way to do those with the road games and things of that nature. When we were talking last night was last night, bro. We gotta do that, man. We gotta do that because not only
little watch party or something.
Not only is it good content, but it's just like the camaraderie. Like again, this is the stuff I can't believe we get to do. Just talk hoops with people. And especially when you have a chat like this that's so like invested in everything we're doing and like actually smart and bringing up great points, like and bringing up like bro, how many other chats are gonna bring up like the assistant coach Jarrett Jack? You know what I mean? Like it's dope. So shout out to you guys.
They stay clued in, man.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. I love it, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of this stuff.
Listen, I'm gonna sign out. Hey, I got a couple comments to read here. Mega Hustle. He said, "Oh man, Kool-Aid warned me about CADE. I should have listened." CADE is that day. I've been saying it on this channel for
how do you allow yourself to fall asleep on CADE? This is so crazy.
I think it's just how down Detroit has been for so long, the Pistons, that it's a little bit hard to believe that we got him. But we really did. Listen, I played college ball, got to play Pro-Am in the summers. Steve Francis grew up behind the school that I went to college, and he used to lace us with stuff and run Pro-Am stuff in the summer. And kind of seeing like how those guys play, seeing how they think. When I first saw CADE, I was like, he's one of those guys. Like I instantly knew it. Like the way he thinks, the way he plays, the methodical.
Yeah,
it was instantaneously. And I was like, CADE is one of those guys. I see a couple more things I'll say here before we sign off. PD Max said Brandon Miller is about to be put in a box tomorrow. Yes, he is.
Oh, I forgot. About Brandon
a storm is definitely brewing from not El Heyman. Let me see anybody else.
He was straight, like 13 points, 5 boards, like like a pretty decent shooting to like 5 of 9, only 9 shots. But
anything from 3?
I don't remember. I actually have him in one of my fantasy leagues. I can check how he did. But overall mediocre performance. And that's how I feel about Brandon Miller. I think he's a good player, but I think he's just gonna be like consistently good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a star.
Oh yeah, we got a nice show.
I'm about to log out to definitely go and support the Woodward Knights. Definitely tune in. I support all of these shows. My guys, I love Woodward Knights. I love Woodward Morning Woodward Show, and obviously one half of the Woodward Heavyweights down there. I need you guys to support these people, man.
2/4 of the Woodward Heavyweights.
You know what? I'm tripping. Yeah. I'm tripping.
That's one half still.
2/4 is one half. Here, man. Hey,
dummy.
There you go. You know
that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. That's why don't trust me with your taxes. None of that, because
I'll reduce the fractions.
Yeah, this was a great
fractions
stream,
were hard, man.
Shout out. That's D Knight, and I appreciate you guys, man, with the contributions. Hey,
it's not the same thing.
Lions have Hall of Fame coaches. Pistons now have that too. I love you guys. We're gonna have more live streams, Ace. I promise you that. I promise you that. We're gonna have more live streams. We're gonna have more content coming to the channel. So Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Till
Peace
next
out,
time,
y'all.
y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Definitely.